Welcome guys, this is my first video and I will show you today how to trade futures. Now let's start with some basic understanding of some vocabulary, some debunking some of those jargon words. So when you trade crypto, there's a couple of ways you can trade. You can have crypto in your wallet and send it to someone and then they send you a pre-agreed amount to your wallet. That's like peer-to-peer trading, okay? From one person to another without any intermediary. Or you can trade on a centralized exchange, which means there's a big company, they've got servers, they've got security, they have all the assets backed, they are institutional grade, they are insured, there's a CEO, there's a proper company structure, and they charge fees, you know? It's companies like Binance, Bitget, MEXC, Bybit, Bitmark, Lbank. There's over 100 centralized exchanges and you have the free choice. Obviously, most people go for the biggest exchanges because the liquidity is much deeper and the spreads are smaller. Again, jargon words, we can debunk them maybe in a more advanced video later. This is more like a beginner's guide. So I will not stop and explain certain jargon words. I will also try to avoid using jargon words. But then now we've covered peer-to-peer trading, and then we've covered now centralized exchanges. And then there's also something called decentralized exchanges. Again, that's something that we'll cover maybe in another video, but a decentralized exchange, short would be DEX, would be something like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and very hot this year or last year were Radium and Jupiter. These are Solana DEXs. And then Pump.Fun was also like a DEX that turned into a launchpad. But again, today we are talking about futures trading, and futures trading is something you do on a centralized exchange, yeah? So the centralized exchange of my choice is Bitget. Why am I choosing Bitget? Bitget to me has a very clean user interface. It has amazing copy trade functions, so you can copy traders, and it's also very reliable and fast. So when you withdraw funds, they arrive quickly. There's never any issues. They take multiple ways of deposits. So I'm based in the UK. So sometimes with some of the larger exchanges, the UK doesn't allow them to be, it doesn't allow them to be here and onboard UK customers. With Bitget, it's a bit different. So let me first explain what futures trading is. Futures trading, as the word already entails, and you'll find that a lot of the jargon words, you can kind of derive the meaning from the word a little bit. So one word is futures trading. So futures trading, as the word already suggests, has got something to do with the future. So you are basically betting on the future price of an asset, yeah? You're not buying an asset, you're actually just placing a bet, if that makes sense. There's different types of trades you can actually execute on a centralized exchange. In order for me to show you, step one would be to create an account, yeah? Use the link in the description. It will give you access to reduced trading fees, and also you have a chance to win some free USDT. USDT is the same as US dollars, but it's on the blockchain. So you have a chance to win a prize, and you also will benefit from reduced trading fees. So once you've clicked on the link, you'll be asked to sign up. Complete all the steps, your ID verification, your address verification, complete all of that. Once you've done that, you'll be seeing the home screen just like that here, yeah? So here you can see futures, you can see buy crypto, you can see markets, all of these buttons. I will not talk about every single button in this video. It will be a 5-hour video and you will not get the value that you came here for. You came for futures trading, so we will stick to that. In order for you to trade futures, you actually need to top up your account first. So you click at the top left and click buy crypto, credit or debit card. You will then be directed to a page where you have to enter your details, your card details. You'll choose how much to buy. You'll choose which coin to buy. You do not want to buy Luna, as in this example. You will always want to enter with USDT. So you want to buy, I don't know, maybe you are in Europe, maybe you are in the United States, maybe you are in a country that uses US dollars. Choose your fiat currency here, in my case, GBP, and you would want to buy USDT. Make sure that the bottom field is USDT, yeah? USDT, just a very quick one without going on a tangent, USDT stands for US dollar Tether. Tether is a company that in 2015 have launched the first US dollar pegged token. What that means is that the token that USDT has issued is always pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar. So essentially, buying, if you pay $1 US to receive 1 USDT, you basically have a token that is worth exactly $1. if you spend $1 to buy a fraction of $1 worth of Bitcoin, you have, a fraction of a Bitcoin. That price tomorrow can be less than $1 or more than $1. With USDT, it's like a very smart mechanism to have a dollar on the blockchain. But unlike the actual US dollar, which is printed by the Federal Reserve in the United States, USDT is a blockchain token that is centralized, owned by a company, but it's very independent. So it's completely, the US Federal Reserve has got nothing to do with USDT. So, but it's still $1 to $1. So anyway, once you've deposited and you've bought USDT, I would recommend start with maybe $100 if you don't mind losing, I don't know, because you should always only do these things with the money you can afford to lose, worst case. Yeah, I don't want no one messaging me saying, hey, I've spent my daughter's college fund money or my wedding savings on futures trading and I just got liquidated and my wife is going to kill me. I don't want to hear none of that. So deposit the type of money that you would comfortably be happy to part with. So if you're a multi-millionaire, maybe don't do $100, maybe do $1,000 or $10,000. If you're just getting by and you have like a few £1,000s in your account, maybe start with $100, $200, $300, okay? So once you've deposited that and you've got $300 worth of USDT, you need to click onto your wallet, to your assets. So assets overview, you will see that I have, once the page is loaded, I have about 39 USDT worth of assets in my wallet, yeah? So I have some Bitcoin here. So I'm gonna show you how to spot trade really quick. So spot trading is what most people do, yeah? This is how you get your hands on crypto. So if you get paid by your employer or your business into your bank account, let's call your bank account a Barclays bank account. You have £1,000 in there. Now, how do you buy Bitcoin? You would do what I've just told you. You would deposit it into USDT, and then once you have USDT, you already have basically a crypto token. But now let's say you want to buy Solana or Ethereum or Bitcoin. All you do is click on spot trading. You click on trade and then you click spot. And then you choose your pair. So you entered with USDT because you've used your card to buy USDT. So now you've got USDT and now you can buy Bitcoin, for example, yeah? So I have 8 USDT here. I could buy $8 worth, or $8.8 worth of USDT here, and it'll be my wallet, and I can withdraw it to an external wallet and do whatever the hell I want. But we're not here to spot trade. I'll show you just now because I've got Bitcoin, yeah? Let's look at my wallet again. I've got some Bitcoin, and I want to sell the Bitcoin, yeah, to USDT, okay? Because I only have $8 worth of USDT, well, almost 9, but I have, look here, it's in GBP. I have about $25 worth of Bitcoin, $22 worth of Bitcoin, okay? I want to sell that Bitcoin to USDT. And that is, for that, use spot trading. I'll do it quickly. I'll click on spot. So you've got 2 for 1 in this video. You have a brief overview of how to spot trade. So I've got the Bitcoin US dollar. I'll click sell. I'll click all of it. You can see I have this amount of Bitcoin and I'm selling it for $30 approximately, 30.5 USDT. It's a dollar on the blockchain as explained, okay? It's not actual dollars because that you can then convert into actual dollars if you wanted to and then put it back into your bank account. But this is like crypto dollars, yeah, USDT. We sell the Bitcoin, pending order successful. I did a limit order, which I don't want to do, so I'm going to cancel. Oh, I guess my limit order was executed. Let's just see. So let's go into my wallet. I'm going to explain to you what limit and market orders are when we do the futures part, okay? So, okay, it got executed. I guess the limit order was close enough to the market that it executed immediately. So now the Bitcoin is sold for USDT. We have $39 USDT and 42 USDT cents. So let's get to the point that we came here for, futures. What is futures? Unlike spot, you're not actually buying the underlying crypto asset. So if I do a Bitcoin futures trade, I don't buy Bitcoin. I'm betting, I'm speculating on the price going up or down. So here we will choose USDT M futures. USDT M futures stands for USD Tether, which is the digital US dollar that I explained. M stands for margin and futures stands for futures. Futures is a derivative and the price of the future derives of the actual price of Bitcoin. Sounds a bit techie, but it's not. We click on it, it opens a new window. We can now see BTC USDT. It looks the same like spot trading, but we're now in the futures tab, okay? You can see here, we are here trading futures. So now, what do I need to do? First of all, I need to move my funds from my, I'll show you from my from my spot account, look, I have different accounts. I have a futures and a spot account. My assets are currently in my spot account. So if I go on spot, my money is here. But if I go into futures, there's nothing there. So I can either click transfer here and move the money from my spot account to my futures account. Yeah, look, boom. Or I can click this little button here and you'll see the same, okay? From my spot to my futures. How much US dollars from my spot account? It would be great if they'd show my balance, to be honest. Well, it does if you click on here. So I have this much in my spot account and I can click max. And now it's in my futures account. I can show you. So my spot account is empty. Yeah, I don't know why I've got this here. I think I have some dust. You call it dust, yeah, here. But my futures account is full. I haven't traded. You need to think of this as different bank accounts within your exchange. I believe the exchanges, due to regulation, they have to separate your funds that you're using for spot trading and your funds that you're using for futures trading. And then you have a few other buttons here, a few other, let's call them ring-fenced accounts, like margin, on-chain, and OTC. OTC stands for over-the-counter. I can explain that in a part 2 or in a more advanced video. Yeah, this will be more simple. So you've basically moved money from spot to your futures bank account. Imagine moving it from your savings account to your current account, or from your current account into your ISA account. Like you can access funds for different purposes. You can't kind of mix them, if that makes sense. I guess it's due to regulation. That's my only assumption. So now we've got money in our futures account, okay? So now I can actually look at the price here and decide, do I think the price is going to go up or down, okay? So this is the graph. It's an hourly graph. So every candle represents an hour. We want to zoom out a little bit. Let's do daily, okay? So you can see today was a really busy day. It went up crazy. Like this morning it was $97,000. Bitcoin was worth $97,000. And it had an all-time high. Like you can check, you can see the high. The high of today was $103,000. And look, it's 1 a.m., yeah? So yesterday's high was $104,271. So these are daily candles, yeah? You can see the high and the low, yeah? So anyway, now we are just about to place our first futures trade. So let's just recap. We've deposited money into our Bitget account from our bank account. We bought USDT. That USDT lands into your spot account, right? And then from the spot account, we transferred it into our futures account. That was not a trade. We've just moved money from one pot into the other pot, from one account, bank account or exchange account, to the other exchange account. Now we have money in our futures account and we can do a futures trade. Let's go. Before I place the trade, I need to show you what leverage is, okay? So there's a button here. You have isolated and cross margin, yeah? Again, I won't go into much detail. All you need to know is that you want to click isolated, because then every trade you make doesn't affect the other trades. So you could use the almost $40 I have and place, let's say, 4 trades, $10 each, with different leverage, different positions. So one is betting on the price going up, one's betting on the price going down, and these trades will be isolated and not affect each other. With cross, your margin gets like averaged or pooled, and then one shitty trade can liquidate all the other trades, if that makes sense. So I'd recommend always go isolated for now until you understand how to use cross margin. Then, this is important now, you choose your leverage. You can choose your leverage for long positions and your leverage for short positions. Let's just be crazy, yeah? We're gonna go 125x leverage. Now, to explain leverage, you don't need to be a maths genius, okay? All you need to know is, and this is the part where you wanna pay attention, okay? And ChatGPT can help you. I'll show you how to ask him. So, leverage means, imagine a lever or a lever, depending how you pronounce it. It's this long bar that you can use to lift heavy objects, yeah? Like, it's like a J shape. The higher up you go, the less power you need to lift the short end. So you can lift very heavy objects. The longer your lever or your lever is, leverage is the same. Imagine the higher your leverage is, the more power you have. So imagine I have 10x leverage. So I'll go adjust this to 10x leverage, yeah? That means, so I'll click confirm. That means if I open a long position with $10, yeah, my $10 are gonna behave like $100. Do you get it? So if the price of Bitcoin with a $10 deposit / margin, see the $10 as a deposit. You're saying to the exchange, I'm giving you $10 as a deposit. but the exchange calls it a margin, okay? I'm giving you $10, but let me trade with $100. Now, the exchange is going to say yes. But the catch is, the exchange says, if your $100 loses $10, we will take the remaining 90 and add it to your $10. So we've got the 100 and we will charge you a trading fee. So the exchange doesn't actually lose, okay? So if you get liquidated, the exchange, like, it's not like you're taking $100 and then losing the whole 100. No, the exchange gives you $100. The upside is infinite. You can literally turn the $100 to 10 million. The exchange doesn't care. But as soon as the $100 takes a loss the same or higher than your margin / deposit that you've given it, in this case $10, your entire position will be closed, yeah, and you've lost your $10. So, for example, with the $10 and 10x leverage, you now have $100, yeah, on paper, but you've only given $10. If the price of Bitcoin now goes up and you've opened a long position, if it goes up by 10%, you now have $110. So you give the exchange the $100 back, you keep the $10 profit, and you take your $10 margin. Together, you've now got 20. You've basically doubled your money, even though the price of the underlying asset that you've speculated on only went up 10%. So I hope you can follow, but that way you can actually make serious money. And now we've just done 10x leverage. Let's say we do 100x leverage. Okay, with $10, 100x leverage, if your $1,000 goes to 990, you're gone, yeah? They'll take everything. But if you're $10 at 100x leverage, which is $1,000, just enjoy a 10% gain. You've made $100 out of $10. I'll explain it again. So let's say you've got $10 and you have 100x leverage. Your $10 behaves like $1,000. Bitcoin price goes up. You speculated it going up because you opened a long position. Look, the green says long, open long. That means you are betting on the price going up. And the price goes up 10%. Your $1,000, which really was only 10, is now worth $1,100. You can now close the position. You give the exchange the $1,000 back. You've got the $100 profit you made plus the $10 margin. So you've made $100 out of $10. Okay, so you've 10x'd your initial input with just a 10% gain on the underlying asset. Now imagine you were spot trading. If you put $10 in, okay, and you buy Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin goes up, you're only making $1. Whereas if you do the same thing with a futures trade, you've made, and you 100x leverage it, you've made $100. And now imagine you do it with $100 at 100x, $1,000 at 100x. Do you see what I'm saying? Like $1,000 is not a lot of money. You can do $1,000 at 100x leverage. That means you're now having positions that are behaving as though you have 100K sitting there. A 10% gain means you make 10K and you've only put in $1,000. So now you can make 10K like that with just $1,000. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, I've talked too much. Let's do it now. So I'm going to do $10 I'm actually going to open a short position because I feel like this is overheating, okay? So we had a all-time high, not all-time high, we had a high of 104, yeah, as you can see here, 104,000, I'll click on it. Yeah, it's there, like if you look at it, it's right there, $104,271.80. That was the high, and that was the high for a long time. I can zoom out, look. When was it last this high? It was last this high here in January. So I am saying that we will get a correction. So what am I going to do? I'm going to open a short position. I'm going to go all in, 125x leverage, $10. That means my $10 behave like $12,500. So I'm going to open a short position. Yes. Now my short position is not active because I placed a limit order, which means that only if the price is that, my order will actually go through. So I'm going to cancel the limit order. Yeah, that was another lesson. You have market and limit orders. And I'm going to click on market, which means it takes the mid price here between buys and sells and executes it immediately. So I want $10 at 125x leverage, betting that the price will go down. Let's go. See, it's open. And now you can see live, you can track how much profit this trade is making. So right now, I am minus 1 cent, 10 cents, okay? Now I'm plus 50 cents. I am plus almost 60 cents. You can see, because it's behaving like I've got $1,250, any little movement can give me quick gains and quick losses. Now, what we can do is we can ask ChatGPT, at what point will I be liquidated? Look, we have it here. Estimated liquidation price, $103,364.90. If the Bitcoin price hits that price, my position will automatically be closed and my $10 is gone. Because I bet it on the price going down, if the price instead goes up to this number here, yeah, this number right there, my position will be gone. So let's hope it doesn't happen. Look, I'm $1 in profit. I've only betted $10, guys. I could now technically close the trade and I've made a 10% gain. Now imagine I put in $100, yeah? Then I would have made $10. Imagine I would have put in $1,000. I would have in literally 3 minutes made $100. Some people need to clean toilets for 12 hours to make $100. Had I just had $1,000 and done the same trade right now, look, I'm gonna close it, close, confirm. Look, you see, I've closed the trade, I've secured my dollar. Now I'm gonna reassess the market. I still think it's gonna go down. So now this time I'm more confident. I will actually do all my money here that I have. I think it's, how much do we have in the futures account? Spot futures. Yeah, we have $39 here, okay? So I'm doing all of it. I'm doing market. I'm opening my short position. Bam. So I have now opened a short position with $39 at 125x leverage. So my $39 is now behaving like, where's the multiplier? Like this, $4,875. So if the price moves, let's say 20% down, I make 20% on this. Yeah, simple. Oh look, I'm already in profit, $3. Yeah, you see that? Because I entered at 103,000 something, and it's already moved down quite a bit, and I've made $3. So I've made just under 10% in less than 3 minutes. Now, again, imagine I would have put more money in, let's say $400, let's say $4,000, and I would have 125x'd it. You know, just do the maths. I could have made $30 in these 3 seconds, in these 3 minutes that we've been talking, or I could have even made $300. So this is how you day trade, guys. You just basically have like some balls, put like 5K in, and then do 125x leverage, do 100x leverage, check the price on the asset that you're actually trading on, use your common sense. If Bitcoin is like the highest it's ever been for the last 6 months, chances are it might probably go down and experience a correction in the short run. It may not go down the whole time, maybe just for like a little bit and then bounce back up. But you probably don't want to open like a long position if Bitcoin has its all-time high. Do you get it? I mean, just like out of probability, you're best off just looking at the graph a little bit and just seeing what's going on. So for example, if you were here, that's a massive down candle. You can now think, it's like super low, look, 78K. When was the last time it was 78K? Like here, yeah? And then even further, like here, do you get it? So had you been here, you probably would have said, it'll probably go up. Well, it did go up a little bit, and then maybe there you should have cashed out because it went up like, I don't know, 1%, 2%. But then it went down again. But then here, look, green. It went up. So, you know, I feel like here it went up and it kept going up. It could have also gone down. Like, you need to basically figure out what makes sense to you. So I'm not sure if there was any news here that triggered that. But since this day, really, since here, the price has just been going up the whole time. So we can see a little red candle. I think we're due for a correction, but I could be wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know everything. But you basically just need to analyze the graph a little bit. For me, as I said, I think we'll have a correction. I think we'll have something like here, where it went up, and then now it's going to go down, and then it'll go up again. I think long-term, Bitcoin will always go up. But in the short term, like weekly, monthly, there's like room to speculate a little bit on the interim movement. So I'm going to stop the video here. I hope you found it useful. I'm going to close my trade as well, just to cash in my $1.40. Or maybe I'll just leave it, actually. You never know. We might go all the way down to, I don't know, 78K. And if we do, I'll update the video and let you guys know. Click the link. As I said, try it yourself. You can do like really cool stuff. Like you could do limit orders, which basically means that the trade will only execute when the price is at a certain level. So that way you can kind of plan a little bit. You can do a stop loss, a take profit, which basically ensures that there's like downside risk management. All of these things you can do. Let me know how you found this video. This is my first video. I hope you liked it, and I will certainly post more. Thank you.